We had a start. We basically started around late '90s, '99, somewhere in there, and really became a full band right around the turn in 2000. And we had a former member who actually Chandler Holt, who was our banjo player that retired 3 or so years ago now. And so he was one of the founding members. So it was the four of us, and we met through Dave and Greg in Raleigh. Chandler had gone to a party where Dave and Greg were living, the Blue House in Raleigh, which is off of Boylan Avenue and Hillsborough Street. And he'd gone to the party and came back to me the next day saying, I saw this great band, and which was Stillhouse, which was Dave and Greg band, that they were kind of a country rock outfit at the time. And they were playing the house at the house. And he came back and said they were playing the coolest music, and was just like, we gotta go see these guys. We gotta hang out with these guys. And Chandler and I were in a band at the time called Virgin. And so we started getting together, going out to see them and hanging out. And the next thing you know, Dave was like, hey, why don't you come over to the house and have a few cold ones? And I got some tunes I'd like to maybe try through a acoustic filter, more of like a bluegrass style. So that's where it all began. And our first album came out in 2003.
And the rest is history.
And the rest is history.
The rest is history. I like that. I like that. Well, thanks for kind of taking us down that journey. Is the Blue House? Sorry, there you go. Okay, you got me.
You got me.
Oh, we got it. John, can you mute? Wait, is it John? Oh, I don't know who it is.
I think it's Dave.
Is it Dave now? Has it passed over to Dave now?
He's the guy.
Oh.
I've been muting just to be nice.
Well, thank you. So does the Blue House still exist?
It does. It's I don't know who owns it now, but it was a very famous, what they say, the famous Raleigh crash pad of a lot of bands. I think there was a kind of a heavy metal type band, Corrosion of Conformity, that used to live and practice there, if I'm not mistaken. And possibly some other, there was a lot of Raleigh bands that would, we'd have some parties there sometimes, and they'd come over, or it was just a hang for quite a while. It was great because there was businesses around, so we could stay up late and jam and not worry about disturbing anybody. So
nice.
That's where we cut our chops, and got, started to get a little refined sound, and worked on our craft, because we were night owls, and we could actually stay up late and turn up the amps and stuff.
Back when 2:00 in the morning was just getting started.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. Now we know. So, Greg, you're from Cornelius. John, where are you from?
I'm from Shelby, North Carolina.
You're from. That's right. Shelby.
Shelby.
Oh, Shelby.
Yeah. Born and raised in Shelby.
Is that the Don Gibson Theater in Shelby?
Oh yeah, beautiful theater.
I have not seen that one, but I see a lot about it.
Yeah, it's. I'm honored to be, with there's such a great musical family in Shelby. Just of all the like Earl Scruggs, Don Gibson, there's plenty of people that come out of Shelby, which is really cool to be a part of, to come from there. And of course, you got Bridges Barbecue, which is just the best. And so I was born there, but then moved to High Point, after first grade, I think, and then eventually landed up in Raleigh right around when I was fifth grade. Yeah.
So did all you guys, again, were you all attached with like NC State in a way, or was it you just all were doing different things in Raleigh and then, and met each other through the way you mentioned?
We were all, I guess Dave and Greg were at NC State, and Chandler was at NC State. I was at Wake Tech, but
nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong at all. I loved my time there. It was a very short stint, but I was enrolled at State and was supposed to go, but those guys were at State, and of course I'm a Pac fan, but that's how we all kind of met that way.
That's awesome. Now, I know Dave left to go get some headphones, see if that would help. But Dave, you're from Charlotte, right?
Yeah, I'm originally from Charlotte, North Carolina, born and raised, and had a really great experience growing up in the big city there. My father ran the hardware store down on College Street, known as Query Spivey McGee for many years. And so,
Oh wait, oh, I'm sorry. We're coming back. Sorry, I thought we were going to skip over that. All right, sorry, Dave. Continue. Dave's telling us how he's from Charlotte.
from Charlotte, North Carolina, and my dad ran the hardware store Query Spivey McGee, which some of your listeners may remember down on College Street downtown. Um, Learned guitar about got my first electric guitar from the music box over there near Cotswold, I believe. Used to hang out there every day with my buddy. I don't understand how the people that ran that place dealt with us kids there. We would go after school and hang out
Yeah.
there for 3 hours. I don't really understand it and play all the guitars and stuff. Um, but bought an electric guitar there and really found my outlet for all those down hours that a kid has, and really loved it. And look at all these years later, I'm actually making a living by running around acting like the 13-year-old kid with a guitar.
And
Great times.
your mom's a poet, right?
Yeah, my mom's a poet, still alive and kicking down there in Charlotte, and she's released, I think, 5 or 6 what they're called chapbooks, which are short works of poetry, really thin volumes. She is a big inspiration to me. I think more than anything, it's when you're growing up and you get to hear great language and great turns of phrase around the house. It really impacts the kid growing up, and it's good for you. And I think that's what one of the ingredients that led me to where I am today.
I love that. I love that. Greg, where did you get your so kind of between John and Dave, we talked a little bit about where maybe they got their inspiration in the music, right? Where did yours come from, Greg?
Um, I probably would point to piano lessons as a kid. I took piano lessons from Cynthia Lawing, who was quite an accomplished classical pianist near Davidson College, and took about 7 years of lessons from her. And that just allowed me to have music theory in a pretty decent year kind of in my back pocket. So kind of took a break through junior high and high school, but in college I started playing with some bands, and after that music. I never left music. It never left me after college. So, but that was really what gave me the foundation for what I'm doing. So.
I love that. One of the things that I like about you all as and even and with Chandler too. And sorry, so I was introduced to you guys when it was the first kind of iteration, I guess, of CCL and Chandler, right? And I used to run Lee Street Theater and bring you guys there, and Chandler was the hometown boy there. But I always liked how and seeing how you guys have evolved, with what you're doing now, which I definitely want to get to and talk about, is that all of you are multi-talented, right? And you don't just have one thing that you play. You don't just have one outlet in that way of your instrumentation. Like you guys do different things, multiple each. So is that something that you think is, and I noticed that especially a lot musicians in general tend to like to try different things, but especially, and I feel like the bluegrass and that, that kind of genre, you find a lot of more multi-instrumentalists. Would you say do you all think that kind of tracks, or do you think that that's just something that musicians in general tend to like to do, is learn more than one instrument?
I think it's really, if you're a musical being, which a lot of bluegrass artists are, is you find a way to make music with whatever's in your hands at the time. I mean, John Tier sitting there is an amazing electric guitar player.
Yeah.
Acoustic guitar. He plays some great acoustic guitar on the new album. And I think it just comes down to the person being musical. Most instruments are quite similar, at least in the bluegrass vein. It's strings stretched over an interval, and you know how to manipulate that interval to make a sound. As long as you can get that thing in tune, you can really have a good time.
and keep it in tune, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much the most important thing. If you can tune every instrument together in a band, you're a band.
So go ahead, John. You look like you're about to say something.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, a lot of, if you look at bluegrass specifically too, there's a lot to be said for when you get a band together. You're looking for the guy or the gal that can play more than one instrument, because then that can fill some spots without having to pay for somebody else to,
So it's an economic choice as well. This is a business choice too. I like it.
Yeah, and if you're a multi-instrumentalist, you're like, hey, I've got some maybe a better shot at a gig if I can do multiple things. But no, it's just utility wise. We do know so many friends of ours in any field of music that have so many broad talents like that can do so much. And if like Greg, for instance, too, is now we're able to showcase his pedal steel
Yes, yeah.
a lot more than we could in the past with this new lineup that we have, which is great because it's kind of like this secret weapon. I mean, he's such an amazing steel player and piano and all these things that most people would kind of hear a little bit on our old records, but never really get to see live because he was doing all the work on playing the bass because he had to. And now, Dave actually navigated these waters since Chandler retired with adding some new instruments and some gear that helps him out. He had to he kind of does double duty on a lot of things, which is incredibly impressive and really fills out the sound that we otherwise would have had to hire out for and all that stuff. So
yes. So I do, and I when we get into, so we're gonna finish out this segment and then we'll go to break, and in the third segment I want to start talking about the where you guys are headed now, right? Because I think there's a lot I want to focus on that, but I still also, just like me selfishly as a fan, I still want to ask other questions too, since I've got you here on my show. But so I've always wondered, how did you guys pick Chatham County Line, the name?
Well, John and I, back in our stupid years, we would go, and Chandler lived in Orange County, right near the Chatham line. And he lived in a farmhouse, and farmhouses and directions, and this was way before cell phones, at least GPS style activity. And Chandler was the third driveway on the left past the green mailbox. And so John and I would go out there in our youthful exuberance, and we would drive straight past that driveway. At least we did this twice in a row, and we would cross into Chatham County, and we would see the giant Chatham County sign, and we would know that we had gone too far. And so we would turn around. And the second or third time we did that, we looked at him and said, because we needed a name, we had some gigs coming up. And we looked at each other and said, Chatham County Line. And we get one high five later, and it sealed the deal.
That was it.
That's it.
I love that. That's such a cool story, man. I love that. So also, there's been, because again, I want to set up the transition, right? So there was a definite look, right? Almost, for lack of a better phrase, there was almost a branded kind of look to a Chatham County Line in the former iteration, right? Show, right? You guys were in your suits. You always had the flag behind you. You're crowding around one mic with your Chatham County Line. I don't remember to call it microphone stand, signpost.
Signpost.
How did you? So that's an intentional decision, right? I mean, you guys thought that through. So how can you tell me how you guys came up with those ideas?
I had gone to see Del McCurry right about the
Yeah.
time the band came together, and they played in Durham, just one microphone in the center of the stage. And that show rearranged my mind, if you will. And I came back and immediately told the guys, we're wearing suits and we're playing in one microphone, and that's the only way to do it.
I love it.
I mean, at the end of the day, what we do is entertainment, and looks are all part of the package of being entertained. We recently went to see Shania Twain, and there was a lot of work and money spent on how good that show looked.
Right.
And so we really appreciate that as artists, especially if we can feel like we can back it up with some strong songwriting and good tunes. We're kind of all about it.
Yeah, and I would say too that when we started, like Dave came back and we were all on board because we were, basically when we got together and started jamming, there were all these tunes that Dave had that he had played with Stillhouse and through kind of a country rock filter and all that stuff. And he was really thinking these would probably sound cool through the bluegrass filter and kind of an acoustic style. So we were all on board with that. And especially after the Del McCoury thing, it's like, if we're going to do it, let's do it this way. And it wasn't like we were trying, of course we wanted to be Del McCoury band for sure, such an inspiration, but we weren't really trying to copy as just playing a bunch of standard bluegrass tunes and trying it that way. We were saying, let's take Dave's songs and play them how we would, but let's present ourselves with the respect to the crowd, with the suits and the boots, play around one mic. And it gave this just genuine sort of authenticity to what we were trying to convey to the audience at that time. We just thought it was so cool, rather than just doing the same old thing of plugging in or everybody's all separated and whatever. It just gave a kind of a new twist to it, and we were all about it.
I love that. We got 45 seconds before break. Greg, anything quickly you want to add to any of that?
I think John said it all. Yeah, perfect. Sorry.
No, all good. Well, I love it. So, all right. So we're gonna take a quick break here, and then we'll be back with more from Chatham County Line. Right after the break, we're going to talk about the new record they just announced today, the new single that dropped today, and what you all can expect from the new realm of Chatham County Line moving forward. So come right back. Know the scene. Thanks, guys. Sorry about the beginning. We had, I think, just with all the echo and everything, and then we all just got a little off our usual kind of flow here. So sorry about that first hiccup.
No worries.
Really appreciate you guys doing this.
Yeah, man.
Looking forward to the show.
Yeah, it's gonna be good, man. We've got almost 300 sold.
Right.
Excellent.
Right now, yeah, we're gonna keep plugging it and keep going. I mean, that's the trend right now, dude. Is we're not seeing people buy until a week and a half before shows right now.
Yeah, it's you don't plan that far ahead for a a frivolous expense like this. You just wait and make sure you're well.
Yeah, it's been definitely a post-COVID thing, especially. It's just, we have some pre-sales, by all means. Like we just opened in January, so like we're starting to develop some regulars. But I'm excited for play the space, man.
Yeah.
What is it called now?
I'm sorry, Greg.
What's the capacity on the Cain Center?
401 seats.
Okay.
We sell 376 just for holds and everything.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
If a show starts to fill up, we'll release some holds. Like we'll communicate with y'all and see if we can release holds as we get closer. But we start out with 376 sellable just to make sure we got what we need in our back pocket.
Yeah, we'll have family members in the area that will probably come out to the show too.
Awesome. Does your mom still come to all the shows?
She does. I'm hoping she comes down. I know my brother lives in Charlotte. And his family, they're going to come, and I'm hoping my mom will be able to make it. So
I remember seeing her at some of the shows in Salisbury we'd have.
Oh yeah, she's a big fan.
Yeah, and y'all are gonna play Salisbury the next night, right, for that fundraising event?
Yeah, out in Cleveland. I think she texted me today that it's sold out, so that's great. Good. We appreciate you letting her do that.
Nah, of course.
Really appreciates it.
It's hometown, man, and Ashley's good people.
Nice.
And it's a good cause, so was happy to be. I just had to make sure we got good on our end from some ticket sales, and I was like, great, go, cool.
Yeah, that's great. Can you check? Is there a list where you can see how many people that have bought tickets have the last name of Redling? Can you check that?
I was looking at the list
Are
today.
you trying to see how many of my family I'm guessing?
No. I'm hoping they're buying some tickets.
Me too.
We did get a note. My director of ops today was like, we were told that one of the members is from Cornelius, so expect that there may be some people wanting to come backstage. And I was like, that's fine. It's like they put them on the list for security.
Yeah. That's great.
Look at those fall colors out there. Turn around, G. Let me see.
Oh yeah.
So ooh, it looks good.
Are y'all around the Raleigh area?
Nice. John and I are.
I'm out in the country.
There's still country left in Raleigh?
A little bit.
Oh, Chapel Hill, nice.
Looks good.
30 seconds.
Okay.
You get a lot of trick-or-treaters to trudge up your gravel road, G. What are you going to do tonight?
I've never gotten one.
I know, just keep chasing
We'll
it,
see.
man. It's all good. Thanks, Bill.
Terry will drive out there.
Yeah. I got
Dwarf.
See what happens tonight.
You gonna? Oh, you might. You'll probably get some there. What candy did you get?
I just got a bag of chocolates.
All right, guys,
What
coming back
kind?
on the air.
Coming back on.
100.7 WSIC.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Know the Scene. Thank y'all for listening. We are talking with 3 of the members of Chatham County Line, 3 OG members still here today. Excited to have a chat with them. They're playing this weekend, Friday night, here at Cain Center for the Arts in Cornelius. If you don't have tickets yet, you need to get some. You should go to cainarts.org. We do still have some tickets remaining. We hope you'll get some and grab some and come check out these North Carolina staples. I'm telling you, you guys are going to be NC Hall of Fame, man. Y'all going to be North Carolina Music Hall of Fame. Seriously, y'all are 20 over 20 years as a band in North Carolina. You know, y'all said helping out if you weren't listening earlier, met up in Raleigh. A bunch of them were NC State, but they're from around North Carolina, from Shelby to Cornelius to Charlotte to Salisbury. All around the area they were from. So it's great. I think it's a great story, and they're fantastic musicians. Large catalog of items. One thing before we jump right into the next album, because I want to tee this up, because John, you had mentioned that when you guys first got together, Dave and Greg had their band and Dave had said it was more of kind of a country rock kind of vibe, if I'm saying that right, Dave. And then it became, okay, well, let's do the bluegrass band, right? Del McCrory type thing. And so you had mentioned that you guys took some of, Dave's original songs from their first iteration and turned them bluegrass. Can I ask which ones those were?
What do you think, Dave?
Sorry, as a fan, like I kind of want to know.
Like I kind of want to know now.
I think what it was more. I had gotten a mandolin and was just starting to play the mandolin and writing tunes in Stillhouse, and quickly diverted the songs over to CCL. Devil's Mine was one, but that song's not on the. I don't think that made the record. Stella May was one that Stillhouse did.
Yeah, but your first time. Say that when you were when we first started playing, the story about you were inspired and you wrote WSM, and that was like when that happened and you came to us and played that. It was this kind of epiphany, like, okay, grab hold, let's go.
And that song came from reading the Bill Monroe biography. There's a page I turned to and it says WSM 650, and I wrote that song while Greg was in the dining room practicing with Tift Merritt. I sat on the front porch and wrote that tune down. I remember that.
History.
Yeah, we were all, what, 12, 13?
13.
And in college.
13
so
in
smart.
college. Academically gifted.
I
like that. Also, sorry. The reason I was asking that is because I wondered. So my wife and I, who again have been fans for a long time. In fact, one of the first dates that my wife and I went on was to a show you guys played, and and we went and saw y'all at Aville Fest. That was this, back in August this year. The first Aville Fest, and you guys played, and it was the first time her and I have gotten to see you all in the new iteration, right? And so we heard some of the classic CCL songs in this new instrumentation, right? And in my mind, when John just said, well, there were songs that were more country rock that were then turned to bluegrass, in my mind I went, I was like, oh my gosh, did you then redo them back to country rock when you, when you expanded? So sorry, I went down too long of a rabbit hole. But the reason we're talking about all this is because you may have picked up in our conversations, everybody, that that there's been an evolution, right? Like a natural evolution that you guys have gone through. I'm gonna steal a quote here. With this new record that you have. Rachel Moore, who helped Dave with producing the record, right, has quoted that, you guys were ready to go somewhere new and you wanted to stretch boundaries. So you guys approached this new record thoughtfully and to be true who you were, but also this was a chance to explore some things that maybe you hadn't got to tap into before. So expand upon that a little bit for me. Where are you guys tapping into things here? Where's this journey now taking us with this new record?
Well, first off, it was once Chandler retired, we decided that we did not want to replace him with another banjo player, that he had been from the beginning. And there was just something about our sound in general anyway, that we never really fit like a full bluegrass mold we were all original material for the most part. And, just decided that we wanted to move forward. We had this sort of rock and roll background and all this other stuff too. And especially some of our holiday shows that we would do, the
Electric Holiday Tour.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The vibes from a lot of that were like, we had so much fun doing those with a drummer and with guest musicians and all that stuff. And there's a sense of like, we kind of wanted to continue that as well, but we just decided we didn't want another banjo player, and we wanted to move in this direction to experiment more and maybe hire a drummer and start that route. And it was seamless almost, and felt like we were making the right choice there, and people really liked what you were saying earlier of taking these songs and putting it through this new filter with these new sounds to give it a whole new color. And I feel like Rachel, we met her on when we were lucky enough through our friend Zeke Hutchins to have, he hooked us up with a gig being the cat on the cast of George and Tammy, the show on Showtime. And we played the A team. So we were the studio musicians on the show. And that's where we met Rachel. And she had heard us, I think, on a playlist. We had the last album, Strange Fascination, with Sharon Van Etten had sang on the title track. And she heard that song and said, oh, I've heard you guys, And there was something about watching her work. And I remember saying to Dave, like, let's work with her. And we should really try to talk to her about it. And she was so totally on board to do it. And I felt like she also had, when we finally got to the studio, there was this freedom of really embracing this new trail we were trying to blaze. Yeah.
I love that. That's when, it's kind of like, again, like, so Dave, you're quoted as saying, getting rid of the preconceptions, right, of who you are and what you guys sound like to move into this next chapter. So is this album like just kind of like for you all was like a real fun, like, all right, we are fully embracing this and like planting our flag in the sand that like, this is us now,
Yeah, I mean, what is art but a means for expression?
Right.
And what is good art without growth? If we had continued upon that same road and just kept creating what we thought were great albums in the same vein and with the same sort of sound set, it would have been a beautiful thing as well. But this personal opportunity we had to shift our focus a little bit, we grabbed it with open arms and really were excited about it more than anything. We got to add drums to the show. We got to embrace electric instruments on the stage. Um, One of the reasons we played around a single mic for years is because technology did not really exist to make acoustic instruments sound good, amplified. That I've read articles with numerous acoustic bands that complained about the way their instruments sounded, and I'd go see shows, and I never loved the way an acoustic guitar sounded. But there's technology out there today that literally the amount of computing power in a cell phone and a guitar pedal, and you can do anything you want. And so we're excited that that existed at this time where we could play with a drummer and kind of bring some serious volume to the stage, where for years we've just been tickling the audience. We feel like we're really getting them to move, especially with the drums. If you want to dance at the show, you could always dance at the show, but now you just really kind of gotta, because it's moving you. The music's moving you, and we look forward to Friday nights. We're gonna have that Cain Center just rocking.
Yeah.
I like it. Do you guys so with you guys doing, full plug-in and everything now, are you embracing the full like inner monitors and stuff too, or are you still wedges? Do you have a preference? Like what's your
Yeah, we did. We tried that for a while, and there was some success, and I kind of preferred more to go back to the wedges, so we've ended up back there through the wedges. But we did try, and who knows, down the road things might change. But at the moment, we're enjoying the wedges.
All right. All right, awesome. So I think little music nerd question there. It's always interesting to see how people like to approach that, right? So all right, well we're gonna go to another quick break, and then we'll be back with our final segment here with Chatham County Line, talking about their new record, talking about this Friday night at the Cain Center for the Arts, cainarts.org. Get those tickets. Coming right back at you. Know the scene.
Hey, Greg, did you talk to Brian? Did we mess the car up or anything?
No, but he said he's trying to do a pinball tourney after our show at the Cain Center, and he said the door prize is going to be amazing. That's all he said.
Is it going to be like a snake with a rat in halfway through its mouth?
Yeah, we're going to be gifted that snake's mom.
It's just going to drop halfway through the tourney onto your shoulders.
Oh my god!
You got it ready just whenever. Great. All right, so Bill does have the right on time queued up.
Nice.
This could possibly be the radio debut of this single, ladies and gentlemen.
Bill, we keep doing this on this show. I keep. You want to test it right now, just while we're not live, to just make sure it's not gonna be echoey or anything? Let's make sure if we're gonna do it, it's gonna sound good.
Just come crashing over. She was right on time.
Yep. Love it. Good. Sounds good. It's good, man. I'm telling you. I'm excited for this new record. Been hungry since Strange Fashion Nation now.
Yeah, man.
Just sitting here hungry. Although I do still love me some Wildwood.
Yes.
That Wildwood is still my comfort. That's my comfort blanket is Wildwood.
No, I hear you. We're still that one too. Lots of fans too that are still
Wildwood people. But Tightrope was great too, man. I mean, all your stuff is good, but like, yeah, Wild Rope, Tightrope, Wild Rope. But yeah,
Wild Rope.
We'll work that out.
all of them. That's it.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Chatham County Line has something for everybody.
That's right. Oh, all right. When we get on, we'll do more. We'll play the song. We'll intro in, and then I want to kind of jump into the song real quick, because then maybe Dave and the guys can talk a little bit about the song and the track and kind of the new record and what to expect from the new record. That's gone. Then we kind of danced around a little bit, maybe a little bit more direct to talk about the new record, any particular songs or stories or anything around the new record dropping. It drops fully at the end of January, right? Are you guys gonna release are you gonna drop a couple songs as you go?
Yeah, there will be one late November and one in the beginning of January.
Awesome.
Totally.
Coming back right now.
Okay, coming back right now.
Justin Dionne at 844 Studio 4. It's Know the Scene on 1059 100.7 WSIC.
And we're back. Know the Scene. I know that's my originally my music was more of like a Frank Sinatra feel, and I was like, I'm not down with that, dude. I'd like something a little bit more Weezer-ish. That's more my that's more my kind of generational vibe there. And so they got, they have to go to the what they can legally play, right? Vibe. So we got the Sam's Club version of Weezer for my intro music. It's great. Thank you, Bill. You guys are great. We're back. Here with Chatham Cain Line again, y'all. What a great show getting to chat with these guys here. If you happen to have any questions for them that you'd like to have answered, call our studio 844 Studio 4 844-788-3464. And I'll tell you what, I'll sweeten the deal. If you call in and speak to Bill, I'll also get you a pair of tickets for this weekend. How about that? Y'all call in and get a pair of tickets for this weekend's show on Friday night. We're gonna jump into they've taken us through a little bit of a journey today, guys, from how they got started to I could really talk with you guys for a long time about this. I think there's so many cool stories over 20 years of being together as artists for you all, and everything that you've done and all the records and transitions and everything you've gone through. Beards, no beards. That's the biggest thing I've left off today. Sorry, I just had to drop that. It was a decision, Dave. That was a decision to drop that beard.
I actually shaved. I was required to shave for George and Tammy because I played in the show. I was playing the great blind piano player Pig Robbins, who played on almost every classic country song you've ever heard.
Oh, wow.
One of the greatest piano players and studio piano players ever to grace this earth. And so I shaved for the part, dyed my hair black. And I liked it, and so I kept the beard off.
All right, well, that's the story, guys. You heard it here. I don't know if it's come up, but it's the no beard thing. I was like, okay, no beard on Dave, man, I like it. So all right, so we're gonna jump into continuing to talk about the new record. The new record called Hiyo, correct? Hiyo.
You got it.
All right, Hiyo is going to release on January the 26th of 2024. If you're a Chatham Cain Line fan, country music fan, bluegrass fan, music fan in general, make sure you put that on your calendar. But the cool thing is that today they just announced the new record, as well as have dropped the first single off the record. And I think Dave mentioned that we may be the literal radio premiere.
This is it, ladies and gentlemen.
Guys.
This is big.
Justin Kazepis, I told you I would deliver. We are debuting a first-time ever song today by Chatham Cain Line off the new record. Let's go, Bill.
She pulled her hair from the water. The waves had just come crashing over. She was right on time to take my mind
Solo.
Greg Randling, everybody. And there's John Teeter.
She pulled her hair up from the water. The waves just come crashing over. She was right on time to take my mind and start it over. She was right on time to take my mind and start it over. Start it over. She was right on time. She was right on time. She was right on time. Oh, right on time.
All right. Yeah.
Woo, I smell a hit.
Yes. Everybody, you can, although this is not officially a music station, I'm sure you can call and request that now. You should just inundate any show here on WSIC with that request. So thanks so much. That was awesome, man. Getting to like debut a song on Know the Scene, like world debut, Bill. How cool is that? Yeah, and
Good
we had a
work, guys.
caller. Oh, you got their name and information? All right, we had a caller. Did they have a question that they left with you, or
They just want the free
they
tickets.
just love the story and want the tickets? Fine with me. Fine with me. If you guys are okay with it, we're good.
All
That was
good.
awesome. Well, thanks, guys. So yeah, I mean, listening to that through, obviously, right? I love the blend of it's still Chatham County line, like it's absolutely still Chatham County line. With to Dave's point, a little bit more boogie. I mean, not that there wasn't boogie, but those drums, right? That the extra percussion there adds that extra boogie. Definitely makes you want to get up even more, right? And drives it, continues to drive it more for as well. So let me ask: are you guys consistently using the same percussionist right now?
Yeah, we have a great friend. This guy, Dan Hall, just stepped in and started playing skins with us about 3 years ago, and he is doing a killer job. And he's our road dog, and he will get the ladies out of their seats on Friday night. I guarantee it.
That's what we do at Cain Center. That's what we like. We want the ladies out of their seats. Especially the age range of ladies that we tend to have. We love them out of their seats. That's how it goes.
Yeah, man.
Well, that's awesome.
Stay young.
That's right. Gotta keep feeling young. So how would you say that that track? By the way, everyone, again, if you go to your Apple Music, any of your streaming platforms, you can stream that track now. So you all should make sure you go ahead and make that a high streamed song. Let's get it up the charts. So pass it to your friends, post it on your social medias, all those different outlets, and help get these North Carolina boys on the charts back at the top where they belong.
Yeah.
The chart toppers, some chart topping hits.
Yeah, man.
What would y'all say that song represents as far as like the feel for the record as a whole? Would you think? I mean, obviously, to choose that as your first single has to be intentional again, right? So what do you want us in the audiences to know about the new record based off that song?
Greg, why don't you field this question?
Well, if you're asking if that song is indicative of the rest of the record, I don't know. I guess it's like little mini chapters. That's a pretty grooving kind of faster paced song. We've got the dirges, we've got the kind of murder songs, we got the spacey ethereal stuff.
Cool.
So I feel like we're bringing the whole picture to you with this record. So anyway,
I love that. So an album in chapters.
yeah, man.
Does
Yeah,
it,
it's a really fun listen. Once January rolls around, we're really excited for people to get the whole experience. It's really special.
Yeah.
now at the show this Friday night, you guys are gonna have some merchandise and stuff, right? So folks
Oh, yeah.
that are fans, that if you're missing any albums or are you bringing any LPs with you?
We'll have
Yeah, we'll have a little bit of everything.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. All right. Yeah. So if for some reason, if you guys are collectors, I'm a collector. All right. Now I already have I did a couple years ago. I did the pre-order of the last record. Gosh. Sorry. Strange Fascination. Yes. Did the pre-order of that. So I got that, but I'm looking for the others. So we're going to get that vinyl continue that. So everybody make sure you come and get some vinyl and other things from these guys too, as well, while they're there.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so again, this Friday night, everybody at Cain Center for the Arts, come see these Carolina boys, Chatham County line. Really going to be a phenomenal show. You will hate if you missed it. We're really excited to have them, an honor to have you guys. Please have safe travels down. Thank y'all so much for being here today, and we'll see you on Friday.
Yeah, thanks, Justin. Thanks, WSIC, everybody at the scene.
All right, thanks, Wolfman Tier.
Yeah, happy Halloween to all the listeners.
Happy Halloween, everybody. We'll see you next week on Know the Scene. Greg was like, I'm out.
The new 105.